Hello everyone, I think you all must have seen this movie, Titanic. An American writer named Morgan Robertson once wrote a book called The Wreck of Titan. The book was about an unsinkable ship called Titan that set sail from England to New York with many rich and famous passengers on board. On its journey, the Titan hit an iceberg in the North Atlantic and sank. Many lives were lost because there were not enough lifeboats. So, what is so strange about this? Well, the wreck of Titan was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. The sinking of the Titanic was one of the largest non-war-related disasters in history, and it's important to be knowledgeable about the past. Everyone has seen this Titanic movie, and Titanic was a British passenger liner that sank in the North Atlantic Ocean in the early morning of 15 April 1912 after colliding with the iceberg during her major voyage from Southampton to New York City. Of the 2,224 passengers and crew aboard, more than 1,500 died, making it one of the deadliest commercial peacetime disasters in modern history. So, I will first start with the beauty of Titanic. The Titanic was thought to be the largest, safest ship ever built. First of all, at the time of her launch, she was the first biggest existing ship and the largest movable object ever built. This was 100 feet longer and 15,000 tons heavier than the world's current largest ship. She started in Titanic, The Truth Behind the Disaster, published in 1992, that the Titanic accommodated around 2,345 passengers and 860 crew members. The beautiful accommodations of the Titanic were decoratable and furnished with only the finest items. 5 parlor suites located on ship consist of a sitting room, 2 bedrooms, and 2 wardrobe rooms, a private bath, and a lavatory. You can see from the photo. The first class dining room was the largest on any liner. It could serve 500 passengers at one sitting. The Titanic was widely believed to be the safest ship ever built. The bottom of the ship was divided into 16 watertight compartments equipped with automatic watertight doors. The doors could be closed immediately if the water were to enter into the compartments. Because these safety features, the Titanic was called unsinkable. Now that I've discussed the Titanic itself, I will now discuss the change that occurred on its maiden voyage. The Titanic disaster had on when it ran into an iceberg 4 days after its departure. The beginning of the maiden voyage was mostly uneventful. The weather was perfect, and the weather was for sailing is very good. There was blue sky, light winds, and a clean ocean. As the ship went down, some were rescued, but the majority of the passengers had no place to go. This was only enough for about half of the 2,200 people that were on board. The lifeboats were filled quickly with women and children loaded first. Now that we have learned about the history of Titanic, I will discuss the movie that was made about it. The movie was extremely successful. It made approximately $1.8 billion worldwide, and is also the #1 movie of all time worldwide. Titanic was nominated for a record 8 Golden Globe Awards only a few weeks after its release, and won 4. It was also nominated for a record 14 Academy Awards, and it won 11. So from the disaster to this movie, the sinking of the Titanic remains one of the most famous tragedies in history. So in conclusion, remember the wreck of Titan, the story written 14 years before the Titanic sank, and it now seems as if it was a real prophecy or a case of life imitating art. Whatever the case, the loss of lives on the Titanic was tremendous, and it is something that should never be forgotten. Okay, thank you very much.